Hey guys, it's Nyx and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a Sims 4 tiny house speed build. So for this build, I just decided to bulldoze one of the starter homes in Willow Creek because I felt like it was a good plot size for what I was trying to build. So I will say total inspiration goes to my favorite Sims YouTubers. I've recently been watching a lot of Little Simsy, Karen and Connie, there's a girl named Kelsey and I can't pronounce her last name, but also my new favorite YouTuber, Peach. I'll link her down below. She makes the coziest Sims builds. She also plays Animal Crossing and it is the cutest, coziest content ever. So yeah, total inspiration goes to them. This is not an original idea for me. But they are the reason I am doing my very first Sims 4 speed build today. Getting back to the build, I tried not to make it look just like a square, so I added the little piece jutting out on the right side, as you can see, but you can also see me struggle here to try to figure out what do I want this house to look like. I feel like I couldn't really get what I was like thinking of, like I couldn't get it onto the house. So you can see me here struggling quite a bit. I do like what I ended up with, but it definitely took me a second to get there. As you can see here, I'm trying to make the front look a little more interesting, wanting to put something in the middle of the top part of the house, but I also didn't want it to look too clunky. Now we are finally to the inside of the house. I'm using these little saucer lights to just make sure that you guys can like see the build and that I can also see the build as I'm building it. And in hindsight, I probably should have moved the front door over. I don't love how it's right next to that wall, but you know, considering this is my first ever speed build, I think we can only go up from here. Now that we have the doors in place, we're gonna start working on the bathroom. It's gonna be in that top left corner. I didn't want to do anything too crazy, but I also wanted to make it look lived in and make it super functional. With that said, we're just going to use like a normal shower, and then we're going to use the tiny living sink. I love that sink. I am a blue girl at heart, and so the fact that the blue and yellow accents are there, I absolutely love them. I'm also using the little towel rack behind the toilet from Tiny Living, because I just think they're so cute and it adds so much and it doesn't take up very much space at all, especially, you know, for a tiny house build. Like I said before, I am a blue girl at heart, so this bathroom is definitely going to be blue themed a little bit. And with that, you can see I'm trying to find like a good blue rug to put in here, but I feel like they just weren't coming in like the sizes I needed. What we can't do in rugs, we make up for in the walls. I use this white and blue tile wall and then a white tile floor. And then please don't judge my window placement. They will change throughout the build. Next up, we are moving on to the bedroom. As you can see, I kind of went with a little bit of a blue theme here too. And then I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I don't love the size of the side tables that they come in like normally, you know, like I feel like they're just a little bit too big for the beds. I don't know, but like I can't put anything on there without it floating or looking weird now, so that's kind of the downfall of me not liking the size of those. Along with blue, I feel like you can tell in this build, I really like the dark wood and white contrast with like the dark floors, the dark windows, the dark doors. I just think it looks really clean and nice. And like I was talking about before, you can see me try to put stuff on that piece right there and it just was not working. All right, so back to the bedroom. I feel like it just needed a little more, you know? I don't know. I feel like a plant always makes things better. Here you can also see me try to figure out where to put some artwork. I just felt like the walls were a little too bare for my liking. We do come up with a solution to this later. But instead of solving my problems right away, we just moved on to the kitchen. So here is the kitchen build, once again using the dark wood and white, just for funsies. Now this kitchen moved around quite a bit because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, but I wanted to use at least some of those like fun end piece cabinets, but I also needed to make it functional, and I also needed to add a sink too. So yeah, a lot of things moved around in there for a bit. Now we are moving on to the living room. Now this, I really wanted to put a fireplace here. I wanted to make it like super cool, super cozy, but having the TV in front of the window, I wasn't 100% sure with that. Then I was like, okay, so if we turn it around, maybe we could figure something out. And we do eventually figure something out. But for right now, this is me moving all of the windows because I realized some were too high and some were too low, and they just look weird in some places. And I think I honestly moved them one more time after this. Now, it wouldn't be a tiny house build without a tiny dining room. So we just have like a 1-tile table and 2 chairs to go with it. Now, this is me just putting light switches in all of the rooms because I like it as like an accessory to the rooms, you know, like I'm sure they're functional, but they're just kind of fun to put in, you know? So I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I only have base game, cats and dogs, tiny living, and my first pet stuff. So I'm working on kind of a limited build right now, but I absolutely love this dog calendar from Cats and Dogs. I don't know why. I think it's just like the cutest thing ever. It's also blue, which matches my build, so you know I wanted to put it in the build somewhere, but I just didn't feel like it matched with the dresser, so I ended up putting a desk and a computer there and changed the dresser to something a little more tall so that it could fit by the door, but I could also like use the calendar. I also think this way the bedroom is way more functional. So now I'm just looking at the back, and it looked a little weird to me, but I also didn't want it to look weird on the inside. I don't know which one I prioritize more. I feel like on the inside is where I prioritize it more, but like I said, I don't want the outside to look gross. Now we are back in the kitchen, living, dining room area, and I just felt like it looked plain. You know, I feel like it needs some accessories. And you best bet I love using debug for fun little trinkets and accessories and decorations for my builds. With debug, I end up using these little My Sims characters. I just thought they looked so cute on the desk, and I think later I end up using some of the postcards and things like that. Now, one thing to know about me is I am totally a coffee girl, so you can see me trying to figure out how to put coffee into this build somewhere. Spoilers, I didn't get to put coffee in this build. I wanted it to be as functional as possible, so I didn't get to do that, but that's okay. And then I wanted to split up the kitchen and living room just a little bit. I also wanted to try to find a place for a TV because I would love to have a TV in this house just for functionality, but also because it looks cute. So to do that, I decided to do a half wall. I guess I tried to put a rug in here too before I put the TV. But yeah, I put the TV in here. It's kind of small, but I feel like it'd be really good for gameplay purposes. You can also see me struggle with it floating a little bit, but I think we got it to a spot where it's not too noticeable. But then, of course, I just felt like this area was a little too plain. Like there's a lot packed in here, but not a lot, you know? So I decided to put a bookshelf on the wall, and then I tried to make the ledge look a little nicer. So I tried to put a plant here. But then, I don't know, I wasn't 100% feeling that plant. I feel like I wanted it to be like kind of turned a little bit, but I couldn't find a plant that I liked that would have looked good turned. Like you can see me trying here, but it's not like exactly what I want. So I am honestly not sure what I wanted, but also I was like, maybe I don't need anything here. You can see me looking in debug too to find something, anything that I can put here that might just make the space look a little more lived in. And then while I was in debug looking at the plants for the ledge, I saw the postcards and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to use these postcards maybe on the fridge, maybe somewhere else. And so I decided to use the corkboard to put the postcards on. Now we are back to the front entryway, and I really wanted a bench. I didn't have a bench that like would fit in that spot that was like skinny enough, but I really wanted a bench where you can like sit and take your shoes off. But then that didn't work out. So we're doing a gallery wall instead. And this was a total like trust the process moment because I have not made a gallery wall before, but I thought like, hey, this wall is so blank, it needs something, and I couldn't find like a gallery wall piece that I really liked or a big art piece that I liked, so we tried. And then I was looking at the plot and I was like, wow, that is really close to the front of the lot. So we are going to move it back a little bit and start on our landscaping. Okay, I will be so honest with you. I thought, like, while building this, that these trees were like the tree to the right of the house. And I only realized at the end of the build that they are not the same tree. They are not similar. And I'm just hoping that like it looks fine, you know? So yeah, don't mind that the trees do not match the surrounding trees. So since we are on a smaller lot, I didn't feel like I had enough space for a big backyard, but I did feel like I had plenty of space for a little like fenced in porch. Now you will see as I make this, I make the porch like a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And then this is a little hack that I learned from Lil Simsy, that if you don't want it to cause like the tiny house thing to turn red and be like you're not in a tiny house, you're using too many squares, you just like make the fence off to the side and then you replace it with the other bits of the fence. I don't know why the game doesn't count it as using tiles, but hey, I am down for it. I really wanted to keep this a tiny house build. And now back to the landscaping. I really like these bushes. I think they're so cute and clean. I just had to size them down a little bit, and then I thought, how cute would these flowers be on the windowsills? Now, once again, something I learned from Little Simsy is to make the lot look a little more lived in, a little more like, you know, this house is actually in the ground, is to do a little terrain paint around the edges with just some dirt. And that kind of concludes my build. Like, I hope you guys really enjoyed. I hope you guys liked it. And here is just a little overview. We have one bed, one bath, a kitchen, a tiny dining room, and a living room fit with a TV and a bookshelf. I honestly had a ton of fun making this. Please let me know if you guys had fun watching this and if I should do more in the future.